Renault India has 6 vehicles in its portfolio, and out of these 6, there's only one vehicle that can boast of healthy sales figures, and that is the Duster. Now, the Duster has taught Renault that there are two things that work really well in India. One is frugal engineering, and the second is crossover styling. And the result of these learnings is their new entry-level vehicle, the Kwid. Now, if you remember, the Kwid was shown as a crossover concept back at the Auto Expo in 2014, and it has taken shape as a cross-themed hatchback that's becoming a very popular category in India. And boy, does it look good. The Kwid is built on Renault's new Common Modular Platform, or the CMF, which will be seen on most upcoming entry-level models from Renault, Nissan and Datsun. The crossover theme styling on the Kwid gives it a rugged cladding, and we particularly like the imposing grille. The stance is not that of an SUV, but it looks butch nonetheless. It is a Renault after all, so there are some quirky design bits too, like the turn blinkers mounted in the wheel arches or the variant badging on the C-pillar. It is a large car too and seems to have a generous ground clearance. The top spec variant seen here sits on skinny 155 section 13-inch tires. The Kwid tips the scales at around 670 kilos, which is pretty light, but the car manages to look robust. The quality, fit and finish is amazing for its segment, and the story is no different on the inside. Now, the interiors of the Kwid, they are not something to write home about. The design is pretty decent, pretty simple, but it's very wisely done. And you also get this media nav infotainment system that we saw in the Duster or in the Logi. And if what we have seen in the Duster and the Logi is anything to go by, it works really well. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to start the car, so I can't test it here. But we'll talk about it in the first drive or the review that we do later. Back to the design of the interiors, the plastics, the quality, it feels on par with what you find in the segment in the Alto or the Eon. But the design is pretty simple. You have this piano finished center console and you have a very nice instrument cluster. It's an all digital instrument cluster. It looks pretty good. Orange and black combination, looks sporty, and it should attract the entry level buyer pretty well. But overall, I think the design has worked well. The cabin feels roomy. It doesn't feel claustrophobic in here. It doesn't feel like a cramped cabin. In fact, Renault is claiming this will be the best in class cabin space, but we'll have to compare it with the Alto and the Eon and then see how much of the claim is true. But overall, I think the cabin is pretty decent. It reminds me of the entry-level small cars that you have from Renault in the European market. And I think they've pulled off a really nice job here. Looks pretty decent. The Kwid comes with an 800cc petrol engine, only a petrol option for now, and Renault says that this engine is a very simple configuration, hinting that it's going to be easy to service, easy to live with. Now, they are also saying this vehicle will have the best-in-class fuel economy. And I've managed to start the engine right now. It has a burbly note to it and quite a few vibrations in the pedals, but I'm sure this is a prototype for now. The production version will be a lot more smoother is what I hope. But for now, I think we'll have to wait and watch how this engine really performs in the real world. Speaking of the engine and the safety technology, here's what Mr. Carlos Ghosn has to say.
This product is not going for Europe for the moment. There is no decision like this. This is a product which is particularly geared for India. And for India, it will be competitive on safety. This is one of the main attributes of this product. So I can tell you, when you compare the Kwid to all its competitors in this segment, it will be the best in terms of safety. That's one of the reasons for which we're offering airbags in option on this car.
The Kwid is based on the same premise as the Datsun Go to provide an affordable car to the Indian market. But we've seen that the Go has not really performed in the Indian market. What are the key learnings from that brand been, and what have you tried to imbibe when you plan the launch of the Kwid?
Well, this is a completely new platform. And this is a platform which has been developed in India using our best experience from France with Renault, best experience from Japan with Nissan, and also the creativity of our Indian engineers because we have developed a technical center. So this is a big difference. This is the first time we have a global platform based in India and developed with Indian people, number one. Second, this is the first car on this platform, and this car is 97% localized from the beginning. So we are putting all the elements from our side to make sure that since the concept of the car, everything is geared toward success in India, which has not been the case for other products that we are selling today.
Are you looking at an export strategy as far as the Kwid goes?
The capacity of the Kwid will be particularly dedicated for the Indian market. This being said, there will be some export for the surrounding markets of India. There may be also some very limited export to other regions to test the car in other regions. But I don't think you're going to have a massive export for a very simple reason is I think the success of this car is to be localized.
Now, this particular car is built on your all-new CMF-A platform, as you said. What more can we expect from this platform, and what are the biggest challenges of this platform? Because can we expect a product smaller than the Kwid as well?
This platform is a completely new platform, which allowing us to bring very attractive product, very modern product at a very reasonable price. You know, we announced the fact that the pricing of the Kwid would be around 3 lakhs, which makes it extremely competitive, particularly when you see the product itself and its performance. There are going to be much more products coming on the same platform. The first one will be a car for Datsun next year.
Okay.
So at least one, and we'll have much more because usually when you develop a platform is to make many cars. So we have already decided one that you're seeing, another one coming next year. There will be more to come.
And that Datsun product would be in what segment? Would it be in the compact hatchback or the mini?
It will be on the same segment than the Kwid. Because this is an important segment in India. It's 25% of the total sales in India are made in this segment. And for the moment, we have a very small offer. Renault has 0 offer. So now with the Kwid, we're going to be present. And Datsun is going to develop its offer in this segment.
Renault top boss Mr. Carlos Ghosn has promised that the prices for the Kwid will start at rupees 3 lakh. That makes it a natural rival to the Alto, the Eon, the Nano and even the Datsun Go. Now the Kwid is expected to enter production in the next couple of months. So expect the launch date to be between September to November 2015, which is the festive season as everyone likes to call it. Now we hope to get a drive in the car before that. We hope to get our hands on the car before that. So stay tuned to Overdrive as we get you all the details.